Hello friends, this is Lieutenant Dr. Yasin Ismail Sheikh from Abida Inamdar Senior College. Today I'm going to discuss about how are the manures and the fertilizers which will act for the good soil capacity. For the soil chemistry and agrochemical chemistry, it is the manures and the fertilizers are very important. So what are the manures? The question arises in your mind. So mannose is an organic substances that is obtained from decomposition of vegetables and animal waste, where rather than the fertilizers are the inorganic substances which manufactures in the factories. So these are the basic differences of the fertilizers and the manures. It is a very important according to the agrochemicals and soil chemistry. So today we are going to discuss about what is a manure. So manures are the organic, and as I've already said, is an organic in nature, plant or animal origin, and contain organic matter in large proportion and plant nutrients in small quantities and used to improve the productivity of the soil by correcting soil physically, chemically, and biologically. The properties are there. Now, what are the fertilizers that I have discussed before? Fertilizers also may be defined as the materials having a definite chemical composition with the higher analytical values and which can capable of supplying the plant nutrients in available forms. So these are the very important definition which will comes in the examination also. Define manners and define fertilizers. You can see and you can observe the definition well. Now we can see the what are the basic differences between the manures and the fertilizers. So very first this difference is what the manures contains the organic matter and hence improves the soil in the physical properties. The fertilizers do not contain the organic matter and cannot improve a soil as a physical properties. So this is the very important objectives of the manure as well as the fertilizer. The second difference in the manures and the fertilizers is what? It improves the soil fertility as well as the productivity, whereas the fertilizers improves only the soil fertility. They will not improve the productivity of the soil. It contains the all plant nutrients but small in concentration, the manures especially, but the fertilizers which contains one or more plant nutrients but in the higher concentration. So this is the very important second point. We can see the fourth and important point is what? Required in large quantity, bulky, and yes, it is a costly one, but it contains, so the fertilizers contains one or more plant nutrients but in higher concentration as well. So this is the fourth and important difference between the manures and the fertilizers. The next is what? The required in large quantity and bulk costly, as I've discussed already. Now, the next is what? Nutrients are slowly available upon the decomposition, whereas in the fertilizers, nutrients are readily available in the system. Now you can see the next and last important point is what? Long-lasting effect of the soil and crop. This is the very important in the manure, whereas in the fertilizers, it's a very less residual effect is there in the observed in the fertilizer. The next is what? No salt effect in the manure, and the salt effect is very high in the fertilizers. There is the adverse effect in the manures. There are the in fertilizers, there is no adverse effect are observed when not applied in time and proper proportions. Now you can see the what are the different characteristics of the manures, because each and every factors depend upon the character, properties, and this application as well. Where characteristic of the manure is required in a large quantity, bulky and costly. Nutrients are very slowly available upon the decomposition. It has a long lasting effect on soil crop. Next is what? No salt and adverse effect. Manure is organic in nature, so use it as organic farming. Manures are contribute to the fertility of the soil by adding the organic matter into the soil nutrients such as nitrogen that are the trapped by the bacteria in the soil, which can be trapped by the bacteria in the soil. These are high organisms then feed on the fungi and bacteria in the chain of life that comprises of the soil food web. The soil food web, the SFW, is a very important factor according to the we can see the manures fertilizer manures classification. Now you can see the classification of organic manures. Organic manures may be classified into two groups, that is a bulky and the concentrated organic manures. Bulky is also called as organic manures. It can be mainly derived from the animal plant and other organic wastes, and green plant tissues, whereas the concentrated organic manures, that is divided into oil, cakes, blood meal, meat meal, and others extras. The further bulky organic is divided into the well decomposed animal, plant, and other organic matters, which can be farmyard manuring, that is the FYM, composts from the farm, and town residue, which can be next to the green plant tissue, which can uncompose, which can be the glyreria and the other leguminous crops are there in the what you call the organic manure. Whereas the non-edible and edible cattle, that is the mauma, neem oil cakes, and in the edible cattle, the mustard oil and cake down ground oil is taking place. The next is what? What are the importance of organic manures? Very, very important factor, that is the importance of the organic manure. First is what? It's a binds soil particles into structural units called as the aggregates. It will come for the 1 marks. What are the aggregates? So aggregates are the soil particles into the structural units. They are going to be aggregates. These aggregates helps into maintain the loose, open, granular conditions, water infiltrates, and the percolates more readily. The granular condition of the soil maintains a favorable condition of the aeration of the permeability. Aeration, yes, it contains oxygen. Yes, next is what? It's having the water holding capacity. It's a very, very important factor that is increased by organic matter. Organic matter is definitely increases the amount of available water in a sandy and the loamy soil. Further, the granular soil is resulting from the organic matters additions to the supplies and more water than the sticky and the impervious soil. The third is the surface runoff and erosion are reduced by the organic matter, as there is a good infiltration process is there. It's a very, very important factor. Now you can see the organic matter or organic manure on the soil surface reduces the losses of the soil by wind erosion, or surface of the mulching with the causes of the organic matter lowers the soil temperature in the summer, and keeps soil warmer in the winter as well. So these are the very, very important factor. The next important factor of the manure is what? The organic matter serves as sources of energy for the growth of soil microorganisms. Organic matter serves as a reservoir of the chemical elements that are essential for the plant growth. This is the very important. This is a chemical element reservoir of the plant growth is very important. And most of the soil nitrogen occurs in the organic combination. Also, we can have the considerable quantity of the phosphorus and the sulfur, which can exist in the organic forms, which can, upon decomposition, organic matter supplies to the nutrients needed by the growing plant, as well as the many hormones and the antibiotics. This is the very, very important point, that is also having the many hormones and the antibiotics. The fresh organic matter has a special function in making the soil, that is the phosphorus, more readily available in an acid soil. As can we see the previous PPTs and the lectures, that the phosphorus, how the phosphorus is going to act with the soil. Organic acid released from the decomposing matter, which can help to reduce the alkalinity of the soil. That can reduce the main increase in the acid of the soil, acidity of the soil. Fresh organic matter supplies food such as soil life, as earthworms, ants, and rodents. These macroorganisms improve the drainage and radiation process. Earthworms can flourish only in the soil that are well provided with the organic matter. These are the different macroorganisms are very, very important for the aeration process. We can see the organic matter and decomposition produces different organic acids and the carbon dioxide, which can help to dissolve the minerals such as potassium and make them more available to growing for the plant as well. So this is a very, very important point. What are the humus? Humus, you can ask for the 1 marks, 1 line question or 2 line question in the examination. Highly decomposed organic matter, which can provide you the storehouse of the exchangeable and available cations, potassium, calcium, and magnesium as well. Ammonium fertilizers are also prevented from the bacteria bleaching, because humus holds ammonium in an exchangeable and available form. You can see it also acts as a buffering agent. Buffering checks rapid chemical changes in the pH and soil reaction. So that's it all about the minerals. And next we can talk about, in the next lecture we can talk about the different factors of these one. Thank you so much. God bless.